bus. I spoke to somebody who's on the bus. They described an explosion taking place.
For commuters in London, the impact of terror is close to home. It's a warning for all of us. In Australia, cities and regions depend on public transport. More people travel on buses than on any other form of public transport. There are around 300 million bus journeys in New South Wales every year on buses operated by the state government and private companies. We all know they're vital to our economy and our community. But there's another kind of awareness that's now part of our lives, and that's the knowledge that transport services can be used by terrorists.
Australia's security environment has changed in recent years. Unfortunately, as we know, there are numerous examples here and overseas of people seeking to cause our communities harm. They have been planning and committing terrorist attacks in an attempt to cause us fear and terror. Today, security is everyone's business, and we all play an important role in keeping our cities and country safe.
I know what items are not usual on the bus. It's my job to be on the lookout for anything out of place.
I know my workplace. I see it every day, and if I saw something wrong, I would immediately know it.
If I see something on the bus that shouldn't belong there, I report to the manager straight away.
When it comes to spotting something out of place, you are all experts. Every day, as a part of your regular duties, you have to inspect the bus for basic roadworthiness, looking at things like tyre inflation, lights and indicators, and a whole lot more. This presents a great opportunity to check to make sure there is nothing suspicious or unusual on the bus. You might do this as a part of your regular duties, or if you're a driver, as part of your regular pre-departure vehicle inspection.
In the morning, we do mandatory checks. If we see something, we say something to management.
Inspect your workplace for any articles which appear to be unusual or suspicious, out of place, things you just can't account for. Make this a part of your daily routine. Look in places where something can be hidden, under seats or other spaces inside vehicles. Don't forget the driver's area, and on a coach, in the toilet area and the luggage compartments.
I start with a feet to knee level inspection of the area, then move on to a knee height to chest height inspection, and I finish with a chest to roof inspection.
If you're a coach driver, when you're picking up passengers with luggage, make sure your passengers identify every item before you load it. At the end of your shift, make sure nothing has been left on the vehicle. Ensure all luggage, including hand luggage, has been removed and claimed. Observe everything, report anything suspicious, and trust your instincts. Once you've carried out these inspections, you can be more confident your workplace is secure for you and your passengers.
As a bus driver, it's not only my job to look after my passengers and their safety, but also my own.
When I'm working on the buses, I keep my eye out for anything suspicious or that doesn't belong.
You've inspected your work area and there is something that concerns you. Trust your instincts. Don't ignore that feeling that something isn't right. Of course, not every item found on a bus is likely to be dangerous. People forget items almost every day. How then do you decide whether something represents a potential threat? We use a principle called hot or not. There are 3 clear questions to ask yourself. The answers will help you decide if an item is hot or not. In other words, whether an item is suspicious. Let's take a close look at how to follow the 3-step principles of hot or not when you find an item on your bus. Ask yourself, Is this item hidden? Is it obviously suspicious? And is it typical of an item commonly found here? First, is it hidden? The item doesn't appear to have been deliberately hidden, so we can say no, it's not hidden. Second question, is it obviously suspicious? It looks like a normal bag. There have been no recent threats made against the bus network, and there were very few customers on the bus when the item was left, so it's an unlikely terrorist target. So no, it doesn't appear obviously suspicious. Third question, is it typical? It's common for students to leave belongings behind, so yes, it is typical of items found in this environment. So, to assess, is this item HOT? We answered no, it didn't appear to be deliberately hidden, and no, it didn't appear to be obviously suspicious. And yes, it is typical of an item that commuters may leave behind. So answering no, no, yes to the questions means it is not hot. Because the item is not hot, simply follow your normal company procedures for lost property. You need to follow hot or not procedures for every unexplained item on the bus. Remember, ordinary backpacks carried the Madrid train bombs, which killed nearly 200 people.
A terrorist attack may never happen, but it's our job to be alert and to look for things that are strange.
There are many different types of items passengers might leave behind. Some may be common, others less so. Something like this in this location is not typical. The item appears to have been hidden. It also appears obviously suspicious. And it is something that is not typical to this environment. So for this item, we would say that yes, it has been hidden, yes, it appears obviously suspicious, and no, it is not typical to this environment. This item would be considered hot. You may spot things that you think are typical, but it's important for everyone's safety that you use hot or not in assessing all abandoned items. You've come across a bag in a bus at your depot. It appears normal to you, but remember to use hot or not to check out the item. Hot or not applies 3 simple principles to unattended items. Do this before departure and at the end of your journey, or when returning to the bus after leaving it unattended. You may save lives.
It's my responsibility to make sure that every individual on this bus is safe.
As a bus driver, you're out on the road every day. You may even see the same people every day. So you're getting to know your environment pretty well. With the knowledge you have and the awareness you have of your workplace, use it and keep a lookout for anything that seems different. No matter where you see abandoned items, if it's in your work area, apply the hot or not principle. This is your workplace, and you have an obligation to yourself and the public to keep it safe. Watch out for any unusual behaviour. Be on the lookout for anyone getting off the bus without items they may have carried on. It may just be a simple mistake, or something more sinister, which could cost lives.
We find stuff on the bus all the time. It's a worry and a concern. We like to check for your safety as well as ours.
Hot or not, making sure things are safe.
Excuse me? Yeah. I think somebody's left their bag behind.
Okay, I'll come back and have a look.
The driver then applies the 3 principles of hot or not to the abandoned bag.
It's not hidden, that's a no. It's not obviously suspicious, that's a no. And it's typical of the things that people leave behind on the bus. So it's not hot. What I'll do is I'll just take it to lost property.
The driver assessed this situation using the hot or not method and decided the item was not hot. Whether you are inspecting the bus on the road or at the depot, the principles are the same. Now we know how to apply the 3-step method of hot or not. So what do you do if you find an item which is hot?
Excuse me?
Yes.
There's a box back here just between the seats.
Oh, okay, I'll have a look at it. Oh yes, that looks hot to me, which means it's hidden, it's obviously suspicious, and it's not typical of anything that will be left on the bus.
Isolate the object. Don't touch, tilt or tamper with it. It may be volatile and we don't know what might set off an explosion. The most important thing you can do is to remain calm and remember, you're in charge until the police arrive.
Could I just get everybody to please gather up your personal belongings? We'll vacate the bus, turn your mobile phones off, and we will head 150 metres to the rear of the bus. Thank you.
Evacuate all passengers to the safe area and make sure they take all of their hand luggage with them. Apply the following procedures to the situation. Isolate, evacuate and notify. The safe zone should be an area that is at least 150 metres away from the suspicious item. Leave the doors open when you get out of the bus. If your bus operates on gas, activate the emergency gas shut-off valve. Then, from the safe zone, notify your office.
Sydney Buses Radio.
We have a suspicious parcel on board the bus. I've identified it as hot. I have evacuated everybody from the bus.
Outline the resources you require and the time of the incident. Also let them know what actions you have taken. Any other relevant information would also be handy. You may want to tell them how your passengers are. Are they calm? Or are there a few distressed people amongst them?
They're all safe, calm and collected.
The bus company should then contact police. Make sure you keep your passengers informed about what is happening and what may happen.
Okay, thanks for the information. We will be in touch with the authorities.
Great, got that, thank you.
Remember, this situation is unlikely, but it may happen, and you can never be too careful. We've shown you a scenario on a bus, but exactly the same principles apply if you find a hot object in a maintenance depot or a bus station or interchange. Isolate, evacuate and notify. Preventing attacks on our buses is not just about checking out packages and lost property. Being on the lookout for suspicious activity is a part of our first line of defence. Again, we're looking for anyone or anything that seems out of the ordinary to you. Whether you're a driver, maintenance worker, in admin, cleaner, any role in our bus system, everyone needs to keep a lookout. If you see someone taking photos or sketching a transport facility, approach them in a friendly manner and ask them what they're doing.
Excuse me, mate, can I help you?
Yeah, just grabbing a couple of photos of the buses up here.
Ask them for identification and then politely escort them from the area.
Sorry, sir, unless you have prior arrangement, you're not allowed on the premises, I'm going to have to escort you off.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this way, please. If I see someone on the premises I don't recognise, I approach them and ask them if they're meant to be here.
Does a person appear to be trying to keep out of sight or acting in a suspicious or agitated fashion? The public depends on you to keep them safe.
If I notice anything suspicious or out of place, I'll inform my supervisor straight away.
In Australia, we're known for our love of sports, especially as spectators, and we've been known to pull a crowd to other entertainment. Our buses carry thousands of people every time there's a big event. If you're working on transport for a sporting event, concert, or any other crowded environment, you need to be vigilant. These events are usually policed. There may be additional security measures that you may need to follow. Keep a close eye on passengers. Make sure nothing is left on the bus and keep watch for any suspicious behaviour. There is always the possibility that something, such as a specific bomb threat, will occur, which requires a greater level of action.
Bus 563, we just need you to pull over at a safe location and conduct a thorough investigation of the bus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to do an inspection of the vehicle. I'd like you to grab your personal belongings, turn off your mobile phones and make your way out of the vehicle. Thank you.
With everyone at a position of safety 150 metres from the bus, carry out a white level inspection, feet to knees, covering areas under the seats and on the floor. Then, knee-to-chest inspection, which covers all of the seating. And finally, the chest-up inspection to ensure that the bus is free from any suspicious items. And on coaches, don't forget to check the toilets. If directed by the company or authorities, you may also need to remove luggage from the luggage bins. If so, ensure there is no luggage left unclaimed.
563 Sydney Depot, go.
Yes, this is 563. I have checked the vehicle. There are no suspicious packages. Request permission to move on.
Okay, 563, if everything's okay.
You can proceed.
Roger, thank you.
If a driver reports a suspicious item on one of our coaches, we'll report the situation to the appropriate authorities straight away.
Thousands of people leave their belongings behind on public transport every day. Most are left accidentally. Some are left as hoaxes. We have a vital service to provide and we can't press the panic button every time we see a lost bag. That's the value of the hot or not process. We can recognise what is suspicious and act to make our buses safe. Remember to keep a lookout for any abandoned items. Always apply the hot or not method. Is it hidden? Is it obviously suspicious? Is it typical? Or is someone behaving suspiciously? If something just doesn't seem right, follow your instincts and check it out carefully. If it's hot, report it and act to make the area safe.
I commend to you the Security Awareness Training DVD. The information provided will help develop a greater degree of security awareness and vigilance to assist you in your workplace. It will also contribute to keeping both you and the travelling public safe and secure.